Hi, my name is Sarish Sudhakaran, and in this video, we'll analyze the cinematography of Bruno Delbonnel. Bruno Delbonnel started his career with his best friend, Jean-Pierre Jeunet, and together they made No Rest for Billy Bracco for $4,000. The money Jeunet was supposed to pay as income tax, or so I've heard. However, it was not until they made The Fabulous Destiny of Amélie Poulain, or Amélie, that people started noticing Delbonnel. From then on, it was full speed ahead, and he has worked for some strong-willed and visual directors, including filling Roger Deakins' shoes for Inside Llewyn Davis, which he admitted terrified him. The goal of this video is to offer a glimmer into why he is one of the most sought-after cinematographers today, and to break down his techniques so you have a starting place to learn more about his work. Bruno Delbonnel loves to keep things simple. That means using the same film stock, camera, and lenses for years. He shoots Kodak stock on the Aerocam Studio and light cameras with Cooke S4 lenses. He prefers primes over zooms, though he carries an Optimo 24-290 just in case. He favors wide angles over telephoto lenses, and so do the directors he mainly works for. For example, Jean-Pierre Jeunet, Tim Burton, and even the Coen brothers prefer focal lengths in the early 20s. All of them also prefer deep frames, especially Jeunet, who loves deep depth of field. For this reason and others, Bruno Delbonnel prefers to use large light sources. He prefers to keep the sources far away and then cut down levels with diffusion and scrims rather than use smaller fixtures. He loves soft light and always has double or sometimes even triple diffusion to get the softest look. He does make exceptions, like he did for Cat's Meow, which has a lot of hard lighting. He never uses diffusion in front of his lenses though. Generally, he lights from the side or top and never from the front. You'll find mostly a side-lit or three-quarter lighting pattern on his actors' faces and subtle hair light from the top. He starts out with fill light, but not in the general sense of the term. He tries to achieve an even wash of light on his scene using soft diffusion like light grids or unbleached muslin. This exposure is usually 1.5 to 2 stops under key. He can then control the contrast ratio by adjusting the fill light. Sometimes he also uses polystyrene boards for simple fill. When he wants to reflect light, he mostly uses gold reflectors and never white reflectors. He loves the warm look it produces on skin tones. For a more edgy look, he combines both side and top lights, or side and bottom light, as the case may be. The contrast ratio is almost always greater than 3 stops to 1. In fact, he claims he loves to have at least some parts of the frame completely black if he can. He carries more than one light meter and calibrates it every day. Once he has pegged down his exposure, he doesn't waver. He uses his fill light as the guide and then bases everything else on top of that. The main actors are almost always the brightest parts of the frame, and he uses lighting to get them to stand out from the background. If necessary, he adds in extra lights like kinos or small HMIs to have their faces brighter. In exterior scenes, he backlights his subjects often, and sometimes even has the background bright while leaving his subjects in the shade. Ultimately, his main goal is to create soft light, but with contrast, and he absolutely makes sure the women look great. When it comes to color, he loves the idea of applying a patina over the frame, but selectively. It's not a color tint, but an overall complex family of tones. Great examples of this are Amélie and A Very Long Engagement. He spends considerable time testing lighting on faces to get them to stand out and have a natural skin tone. He goes to great lengths to achieve this patina, sometimes painting diffusion material and other times using filters on his lenses. Examples include the range of 81 filters, antique suede, coral, and so on. Ultimately though, he absolutely relies on color grading in post to get the colors just right. Even though it was not originally planned for, Amélie was color graded in the DI. Bruno spends considerable time fine-tuning his lighting for color grading. He even pushes past where other DPs would stop, like he did for Llewyn Davis, where he got a pro-mist kind of effect in post. Though he went to film school, Bruno Delbonnel claims he learned lighting by watching films and deconstructing them. With 4 Academy Award nominations, he has earned the right to pick and choose movies that he believes in and in which he can contribute visually. He's at the height of his powers, and we can expect a lot more from him in the future. I hope this brief video makes you curious enough to learn more about the brilliant cinematography of Bruno Delbonnel. There's a good reason he is one of the most sought after cinematographers around. The best way to learn more about him is to watch his movies and to read his interviews in the American Cinematographer magazine and elsewhere. If there's a favorite cinematographer whose work you want analyzed, let me know. To see more videos like this one, please subscribe. There are lots more on the way. Bye now.